Hello and welcome. Well, did you know that sensory play is really important for babies and toddlers' brain development and the most critical period of time for children to be exposed to sensory play is within the early postnatal years? Why? Well, it's because over 90% of a child's brain actually develops before they turn 5. Now, we've all seen babies and toddlers and just their insatiable ability to interact and touch and bite basically anything and everything that they have the ability to reach and what's in front of them. And it's through, these types of sensory explorations that they learn to perceive the world around them and just their role within it. So the question is, what are the benefits of sensory play for babies and toddlers? Well, to help discuss this today and how sensory play is a gateway to children's crucial learning milestones, we welcome our special guest, Claire Behrmann, owner and managing director at Jellystone Designs. Now, Claire is the driving force of the ever-evolving, innovative, award-winning products at Jellystone Designs and a very busy mum to 3 young children. Now, just a little bit about Jellystone. They are a phenomenal business and they are experts in facilitating children's sensory play with a really trusted range of toys and devices that facilitate babies and toddlers' development, including the most colourful and aesthetically beautiful range of teethers, chew pendants, sensory balls, stackers, you name it. They're just fantastic. Thank you so much for joining us today, Claire. How are you?
Thank you, Rach. I'm really well, and thank you for such a gorgeous introduction.
Oh, it's my absolute pleasure. And of course, a massive congratulations on the success of Jellystone Designs. I've been following you guys for a number of years now. And, it's just incredible just to see the business go from strength to strength. And as a busy mum, you took the brand on in 2016 originally as a creative outlet, it's my understanding, hoping that it would bring just a balance to busy mum life. However, from that, it's really taken on a complete life of its own, and having grown substantially to a multiple award-winning business for all of your original products. So as a busy mum, I'd love to know, where did your inspiration originally come from just to work in this industry?
Yeah, good question. And sometimes I think, well, how did we end up here? I think I had a 7-month-old and I was pregnant, and the opportunity sorry, that's not right. I had a 1-year-old and I was 7 months pregnant, and the opportunity presented it to jump in with Jellystone. And something about, I guess, the texture of the products, the colour of the products, it just connected so well. And I thought, there's so much scope here for more products to be made. Why not?
Yeah.
And wouldn't that be a nice balance to, like, little people doing something so creative? And then little did I know, the world of business is not as pretty as that might sound. And it's been a very steep learning curve from there. But I think when you've got little people around you and you're always thinking about different toys or how they're seeing the world and what they're interacting with and what they're putting in their mouths, which happens so much, as you were saying, in those early years, I thought there's just so much more we can be doing with this brand, and there's so many products we can create.
You have, and you've done it so well. And through that, you're constantly speaking with occupational therapists, psychologists, and just experts on how to actually create them, and so that they're safe silicone toys, teethers, and jewelry, all that stuff that you have done so beautifully as well. So, what are the most important features that parents should identify when looking for safe toys, teethers, and jewelry then?
Yeah, I guess sometimes it's important to, you're probably going to be aesthetically drawn to a product and think that's gorgeous, but just put your safety hat back on for a second and just be aware of what the materials are that are being used. Just really sort of have a good think about the functionality. How is this going to be interacted with? And then I guess, are there testing certificates to back up the actual safety of the product? I think we can react so quickly and think, oh my God, it's just so beautiful. And then you think, oh, won't that get pulled? Won't get that part will get sucked? Won't that just end up being dragged along here? yeah, I think just sort of think how you're going to use that product.
And the silicone itself, is there different grades of silicone with teething toys and teethers and stuff? How does that work?
Yeah, I think silicone really. It's a type of rubber. It's a chemical compound as it is. There are different grades of it. Look, essentially, if it's FDA approved silicone, it's that's the American standard, and anything in Australia is a similar sort of standard. It's absolutely fine. In Europe, there is a higher level, a higher grading that needs to be passed for the European standard. But like at the end of the day, it's really much of a muchness.
And I'd love to know also, like, what have you learnt most from speaking to all those occupational therapists and psychologists and experts when you are developing the range as well? Like, what have you learnt?
Yeah. So I guess like I'm in my little bubble and have my experiences, and then it's great to pitch a product to these professionals and sort of get their take on it.
Definitely.
Sometimes we can be thinking too like bigger picture, and they've often helped me sort of break it down and just come back to the core value and the core use of what this product is. So maybe I think, oh, you can do this and you can do this and you can do this. And they're like, no, just remember, like all this child needs to be able to do is this one feature and really strengthen that one aspect of the product.
Yep.
Keep it simple, I guess. The other really cool thing is, I mean, when we're doing toys, like they're meant to be fun. They've got to be engaging.
Yep.
And if it's something I want to play with and I want to use, or we give the sample to like a psychologist that we work with, and she's like, oh, I just want to squeeze it. Like, I love it. You're like, okay, we must be really onto something here. This is
So test it on yourself almost as much as you do and you think for your children. So.
Yeah, like it's play. You know, as adults, we still should be playing. We still should be interacting.
100%.
It shouldn't be boring. It shouldn't be like, oh God, make
Good
it
tips.
fun.
Good tips. Now, I wanted to acknowledge we published your article titled 10 Amazing Benefits of Sensory Play for Babies and Toddlers. Now, for someone who hasn't read the article yet, please tell us what it's about and, of course, what inspired you to write it.
Yeah, I guess so. We've broken down like all the different ways in which kids sort of interact with toys, and it's an instinct for them. They're not overthinking it; they're just grabbing it and using it. So I guess we're looking at the different ways in which they are using it and what they're benefiting from by using these products. I guess a lot of our products are designed that they can end up in a bub's mouth. So they do pass like the teething standard or the choke test. Because we know that children at this age, they are putting everything in their mouth because that's just another sense for them. And that's just another way in which they are trying to understand the world and understand this new object in their hand and what they can do with it. Yeah.
Yep. All right. So tell us, what is sensory play and why is it so important?
Well, so it's pretty simple. It's sensory play. It's any activity that simulates the senses. So we're looking at sight, touch, taste, smell, and sound. Also, I think it's really nice to include in here vestibular, which is our sense of balance, and proprioceptive, which is that understanding of where your body parts are in relation to the rest of your body. So yeah, I think including all of that into our sensory play. And then why is it important? Well, I guess we're looking at memory and cognition. These improve when they're combined with movement, sound, textures, and other sensory input. And so when we use a combination of senses to accomplish a task or when we're exploring something new, it creates, so if we go to our brain, it creates stronger, deeper neural pathways. So I guess as babies, when they're learning and learning and learning, combining all these senses strengthens the neural pathways that bubs are making. And they are making like millions of gazillions of new neural pathways through those very early at that early stage.
Yeah, like we said, over 90% of a child's brain develops before the age of 5. It's really just incredible. So, giving them every opportunity to help develop that as best as possible. Now, in the article we published, it features 10 benefits of sensory play. Love to know of the 10, and we could probably just run through just briefly obviously we want people to go to the article and read it, but what are your favorite top 3 of the 10?
Look, as a mum, calming the mind and calming the body, I can't look past that. That as a top tip. So settling the body and settling the mind, such an amazing benefit. So we've got the brain engaged and we're getting the body calmer by interacting and doing some sort of sensory play. I think when things go a bit mucky and go a bit wild at home, to be able to come back and sort of regroup and resettle and sort of pull out a sensory play activity.
Isn't it interesting, just so to interject for one moment, what you're saying, when you give the in the testing phase the toys to the likes of a psychologist, and they have that experience of going, I just want to touch it, I just want to squeeze it. It tells you instinctively what the child thinks when they pick it up too. And so it's so important to be able to empathize and put yourself in their situation and in their place. We just think, I don't know.
Yeah, for sure. And I think that's something really fabulous with sensory play, that different ages can be interacting with it. Like I know if I set up something for my 6-year-old, my 8-year-old will want to jump in and have a go. Like I want to put my hands in it and try it as well. So with what you're saying, like it's if it's tactile and it draws you in that way, fabulous.
Yes, 100%. What's your other ones? I'd love to know.
Curiosity. I guess that draws in from the like creativity in that side of my thinking, but that whole like, if I do this, what will happen with that? There's so much to explore, and it doesn't need an answer, it doesn't need an end point. Like it can just be quite open-ended and free in that respect. And I think that's pretty special for kids to just have that opportunity to, if I plonk this all out on the floor, what will happen?
Yep.
And where do we go from there? Yeah.
Cool. And what's your last one?
And the last one, I guess what we were touching on before with the brain development, and you can just see what little ones are drawn to and what they want to explore further, and how they want to be like touching or smelling or biting or tasting, how they're interacting with it, and what all that feedback and messaging to their brain is actually doing, and how they're learning so much just by playing.
So like in the article, I'll just sort of just go through just top line what the actual 10 are. So fine motor skills and hand-eye coordination, language development, curiosity, and investigative mindset, which you just mentioned, sparks creativity and creative thinking, settles the body and mind, which is your top one, concentration, focus, and mindfulness, which is something that I think we all appreciate even more so than ever at the moment, mindfulness and the importance of it. Aged children on the spectrum as well, socialization, sensory toys to facilitate play, all of that stuff. And so we'll have the link through to the article, and you guys have really articulated that stuff so well. Now, I just want to know, like, why do you think our Instagram feeds are so full of parents creating sensory play setups at home?
Yes, so I guess what we're touching on before with calming the body and calming the mind, we've all experienced a hell of a lot of time at home in these past few years.
Haven't we just?
Those at-home setups, that they have been fabulous go-tos. And I guess what we were saying before, like the whole family can jump in and be a part of it as well, like all different ages want to do it. And I guess, there is that aspect of like the Instagram feeds and how beautiful some of them are. Like there are absolutely stunning sensory play setups that you can see on Instagram as well. I guess it's very Insta-worthy as well, with just how pretty
things can be.
Can be.
But from your perspective, does sensory play, does it have to be complicated, or can it be easy?
I think it should be so easy. And I think something that I know, it sometimes it just needs to be a grab and go. here, go and just run away and do this, and like put some shaving cream in the shower and go and get messy and let it all out as you need to. I don't think it needs to be, of course, there's nothing wrong with it being pretty. My gosh, we all seek that. But no, I think quick and easy are two aspects that we really should be striving to achieve.
So that being said, then what are your favorite, I guess, quick and easy sensory play activities? I'd love to know.
Sure, right. Okay, so
Sure.
I think one of the ones, it's a bit random, but I feel like one of the ones that's like a bit of a go-to for us in our house, I will just pull out a tub from our pantry. You know, do you have like in your pantry a tub that's got like the rice that's left over, the lentils, the beans, the chickpeas,
old school Tupperware? Yep.
Oh yeah. And I might grab like patty pan cases, or just in little like plastic tubs or whatever. Put a little bit of each of whatever I've got there. I mean, shaving cream's such a fabulous go-to, so I might plonk a bit of that in one of them. So there's little, just little containers on a tray. Maybe add some spoons, a spatula, a measuring cup, a fork, whatever. Just grab whatever, and then I just let my little one just go outside, and he often makes up a potion, you probably call it, or maybe it's like a witch's cauldron or whatever we're doing that day, and he's in there mixing all this muck together. I guess we've got different smells, we've got different textures, that curiosity of what if I'd mix the chia seeds in with the shaving cream and put the lentils on top, what's going to happen there? I think that is just such a quick and easy like settler for our family.
Love you mentioned the whole and direct them outside as well. Give them head and just why don't we go outside? I heard that, but anyway, continue.
No. Well, I guess another one to keep in mind, if you're thinking, oh my gosh, this is so, I couldn't deal with chia and shaving cream. I 100% hear you. Maybe it's something that you can employ before bath time. If you go into it knowing that you're going to get messy, so do it before you're going to be washing it off anyway. Do it in the shower or do it in the bath. Then it's just a simple wipe down after. So don't let that put you off. There are ways around the mess of it all. Yeah.
Any others?
Yeah, I have heaps for you, Rach. Even I guess just remembering little things like round and round the garden on a little bub's hand. That sensory play as well. You're singing and you're touching, and they're getting all the like tingly feedback as you're going round and round. Like that. Another messy one I like is, say you could just grab a few toys out of the toy box. I don't know if you've got some animals in there, or even if it's like Lego or whatever. Setting that up in a tub of dirt and mud. Have one dirty tub and then water in another one, and you can make them dirty, and then with a little scrubbing brush, pop them in, and maybe you're making them clean, and then make them dirty and clean again, back and forth. Just that messiness, the smell of the dirt, the curiosity of cleaning them off, and just getting in there and getting all that feels of the scrubbing brush on your hand as well. I think it's a really great one. Another one for little ones, if you have like a Ziploc bag, hair gel in that, and you've got some like softer bits and pieces around, maybe some pom-poms, I don't know if you have a little bit of glitter or something like that, and seal up the Ziploc bag. Then maybe sort of for a bub around like on a tummy time sort of age, if they're on their tummy, and then they can be sort of, what happens when I splat my hand down on the Ziploc bag and move the pom-pom. So visually they're getting so much feedback to the experience of like interacting with the
as well.
Bag.
Yeah, and if you can, maybe sticky tape the top of it so it just doesn't sort of, maybe burst as well.
Yeah. And you
can help.
Sticky tape them down onto the floor as well.
Yes,
ones.
Seen that. Yes, 100%. Cool. Yeah. Any others?
Yeah. Yeah. Do you want more?
Yeah.
Keep going.
More.
You remember we're all going on a bear hunt? Do you remember that song where you we're going on a bear hunt, we're going to catch a big one? I love doing this with my kids, and we might go out into the garden and set up different stops that we go on with bear hunt. So we go through the long grass, then we go through the mud, then we go through the swamp. Make up whatever you want. So shoes off, and sing the song, and then have that experience of like going through the swishy swashy grass, and how does that make you feel? And then you go in the dirty mud, and then you might want to maybe you want to go through the creek and wash it all off. Another way you can do it is if you set up like a series of tubs back to back, and you can fill them with different things. Maybe you want to do water marbles in one, maybe it's cold water in one, then it's maybe a few rocks and gum nuts in another, and then it's hot water, like not hot, but like warm water in another one. And then that experience of stepping through each of them, what's that telling your brain? How are you feeling? You know, having these great conversations about what's that feedback like and how that feels. Yeah,
I like that one. The hot and the cold and that sort of stuff as well. Definitely.
Yeah. And I think with all of this, like, it's not everything's going to be for every kid. Like, it's really okay if your child does not want to be putting their feet into cold water. Sure, I understand. Maybe they can have that experience of maybe they can try it like just slightly, like can just put their fingers in or dip their toe. Kids have all sorts of different needs, so there's no need to be pushing one thing or like feeling like you have to complete the whole activity. Just little tasters.
I like what you said too, is asking them how they feel, because that sort of helps with emotional regulation for them to internalize their feelings about different things as well, and then being able to speak about it. So I think that's a really key point that you mentioned as well. So thank you for highlighting that as well.
That's okay. I mean, maybe cold water makes them think of the beach or the pool, and they don't actually like swimming, and they're wanting to chat with you about that. You know, it might not be that, but all that sort of thing. Keep the conversation open with how they're going.
Yeah, definitely very powerful. Well, this has been a really fun chat. I guess if you were to summarize your key messages for anyone watching and listening today, what would they be?
Oh, look, go and get messy and enjoy some sensory play all together. I guess it's mind-blowing just how much little ones are absorbing in those early months and early years with their development, and just how much their brain is putting together like so much of this amazing information, and how valuable sensory play is in helping their brain development. It's incredible. So don't underestimate all play and its huge benefits.
100%. And look, if parents have got any questions for you, or of course want to find your incredible range, whereabouts can they find you?
Just email me or Insta DM me, or pop to our website, jellystonedesigns.com.au.
Okay, awesome. And we'll have all those handles and all your handles in the show notes. Claire, I've absolutely loved our chat today, and can't wait to have another chat again in the not too distant future. But once again, congratulations on all your success, and just keep kicking those goals, girlfriend, because you're killing it. You're doing a great job.
Likewise, Rach. Always love a chat. Thank you so much for having me.
All right, take care. Stay safe. See ya.
Bye-bye.